So, considering that, it tells you that education has played a significant role in conditioning your mind to opening your doors to your own destruction. I dare use the word destruction. I have no qualms in using the word destruction. So let me try and make this slightly more uncomfortable. Is India a Hindu country? And if you say India is a Hindu country, when you use the word Hindu, are you using this in a religious sense or a geographical sense, in an ethno-geographic sense or an ethno-religious sense or a civilizational sense? What is the sense in which the word Hindu is being used? That's a good point. We are forbidden from using that particular word. But somebody said that it's in all senses. Who made that statement? Great, okay. I would largely agree with you for a different reason, because that word has acquired different meanings in different contexts, but to a very large extent it still retains an ethno-civilizational context more than a religious context. Because until the colonials decided to craft and carve the word Hindu, we never used it to describe ourselves. The word Hindu practically did not exist except in colonial records. The word Sanatana Dharma may have existed, or you may have different names for different sampradayas, but the word Hindu is something that we never used ourselves, right? Now, in which case, if this is used in let's say in a civilizational sense, what is the character of India? Is it a nation state, or is it a civilization state? Is it a religion-based state, or is it a language-based state? This is one question that I think we have to ask ourselves. What does it effectively mean? A nation state acquires its identity on the basis of imputation of a racial identity, or a linguistic identity, or perhaps even a religious identity. But for a country like India, which has at the very least, I don't believe that our journey is only 5,000 years, I believe that we have spent at least 7,000 years, at the very least 7,000 years. Now, if that is the journey of this particular civilization, of this particular land, the concept of a nation state does not do justice to our history. Because no one religion, or no concept of Abrahamic religion, or no concept of a single language does justice to our history. For a moment, let us just assume for a moment that there is one mother language which is effectively the fount of all Indian languages. Let us assume that is the case. While that may or may not be the case, and I'm not an expert on that particular subject, let's assume that is the case for a moment. The fact remains that every language in India has at least a recorded history of 500 to 1,000 years, at the very least. Which means it has had a sufficient period of time to find its own individual expression, to evolve its own history, to evolve its own literature, to evolve its own idiom, to evolve its own syntax and grammar. Therefore, there is, let's say, a mothership, and that mothership has spawned X number of ships, but each of these ships has now acquired an identity of its own, but it still has a cultural connect to the mothership in some way or the other. That effectively captures this concept of unity in diversity, right? But the one thing that you can confidently state is that each of these thoughts and each of these expressions, no matter how individualistic they may be, are a product of this land and this soil. It has come from here. But then what is here? Are we talking about the India that has come into existence after 1947? No.